Ever since I was a little kid, I've always been fascinated by the big bears of the north. The grizzly bear is the top of the food chain. He's the top of the pyramid. He is definitely the dominant predator. What a better place to hunt the grizzly than Alaska.
He's off the skyline. I can take him right there. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. That is exciting. Whew. That's what it's all about.
This should be illegal. It's so much fun. Woo! So Alaska truly is the last frontier. It's just huge and it's so diverse, whether it's you're flying over the Alaska range or the Brooks range, or you're out in the middle of the open tundra, or you're down on the peninsula where it's wet and swampy. It's just an incredible place with incredible wildlife.
Tim, I know dangerous game hunting is your very favorite. And this week, you figured out how to get your adrenaline fix right here in North America.
Yeah, usually I've got to travel over to Africa in the summer months and chase Cape buffalo or something like that. But the grizzly up in Alaska, top of the food chain, same kind of game.
And no grueling 16-hour flight either.
Well, I don't know. I'm coming from the East Coast and it takes me a long time to get to Alaska. But when you get in camp out there, it's 100% worth it.
When you go to a remote location like Alaska, you might as well get prepared for a lot of travel. On this trip, I had to take 4 commercial flights, an air taxi, and then a Super Cub into camp. The planes just kept getting smaller, and it was a full 2 days in the air to get into camp and begin hunting. You know, the Super Cub in Alaska is about like a 4-wheel drive in any other place. But the beauty of it is you get up there and you get all the scenics, and you're not that high. You can see everything from the beautiful streams to the clear lakes and then the tundra spreading out in front of you. When you get close to camp, the real excitement starts. Coming in and landing on a Super Cub is like nothing else in the world. It's a rush in itself.
Boy, I know that feeling. That is the best feeling in the world, stepping out of a Super Cub in the wilderness.
Yeah, you know you're really there at that point. You can't fly and hunt the same day in Alaska, so you know when you get off that plane, you got to get everything settled, and you know that anticipation's there. You know you got a long night ahead of you, but in the morning, the real adventure begins.
We're overlooking a river valley. Behind me, you can see it's got some fog laying on top of it, but we're hoping that's going to burn off. So our strategy is get up high, be patient, glass all day, every day. Well, the fog that's been over our valley here is finally lifted. We got a couple big basins behind us that tie in down here. We got a good vantage point. It's a natural bear corridor, so we're watching for grizzlies moving up and down this river. If the sun pops out like it looks like it might, we're gonna go up into the high country and watch a little bit. God bless, I'm sorry. That one was eating me up. I mean, he was just pumping blood out of my temple. I couldn't stand it. I can take the gnats if that sucker was eating me up.
It wasn't long after daylight and we spotted our first bear. He was working a river and cruising the sandbars and shoals.
Look at sandbars. Hey, I'm no grizzly judge, but he doesn't look all that big to me. He's long and skinny looking.
Yeah.
Not a big head.
He's definitely not a big bear. Definitely not what we're looking for.
Well, we're early in the hunt, so we got some time, but that's pretty cool to see him down there. Man, they gotta have some kind of fur, because I know that water's cold. We spotted our first grizzly of the trip, and he's just working the river down below us, kind of like what we expected. He's not quite the bear that we want to go put a stalk on and try to take. It's early in the hunt. It's a great sign, though. We're seeing bears up on their feet and moving, so hang in there with us. Hopefully it'll get bigger and better.
The Zone is brought to you by Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools. Thompson Center, Nikon, Blackhorn 209, DLC Covert Trail Cameras, Under Armour, Lethal Human Scent Elimination, and Bill Jordan's Realtree. Family, friends, and the outdoors. This portion of The Zone is brought to you by Gobble and Grunt Outfitters.
You gotta get a little creative here when you're staying in a tent for 10 days. You gotta look at it like, we got a bedroom here, we got a bedroom over there. This middle area is our common area, our living room, sometimes our dining room, depending on the weather. Right back here, we've got our entertainment system. It starts off with the security system, and we've got telecommunications here with the Iridium satellite phone, entertainment in place of movies, all the comforts of home. You just gotta have your mind set for it. It's dry, it's warm, and that's all that matters when you're out here in the middle of Alaska.
We worked our way into about 150 yards, and me always looking for photo ops, I was trying to get that perfect picture. So I pushed the envelope just a little bit. We slipped into 60, 70 yards. It could have not turned out the way we wanted, but ended up I got some great shots. As cool as it was to be in that close on those grizzlies, the hair was still standing up on the back of my neck because a sow with cubs is the most dangerous of all the big bears.
Well, you gotta love it. In the wilderness and already bumping into grizzly bears. Now, a grizzly bear is 5 times stronger than a human pound for pound. I'm 180 pounds. That means a 180-pound grizzly is 5 times stronger than me. That's a 500-pound bear.
Yeah, and they're not only strong, super fast. Short distances, they can run up to 35 miles an hour. There is no way you are getting away from a grizzly bear. And out there, there's no trees to climb.
Now, that was a little bit of a hairy situation, but that's the kind of thing that makes an Alaskan adventure like this. And getting to see those bears out there mowing the blueberries down and doing their own thing, that's just a neat part of the whole overall Alaskan experience.
There's a bear right there, right there.
All right, if he'll stop up there, I'm gonna crack him.
So one afternoon we decided to go out from camp and just do a little hiking, cover some ground, hit some higher vantage points where we could see really well. We found a great spot, tucked in and started glassing, and it didn't take long for my guide Billy West to get us on a bear.
Get up here, get closer, maybe put a spotting scope on him and check out how good he is. We don't have that much time left in the day. We're gonna have to make some serious tracks.
Yeah, there he is. Up there in the reddish color.
These bugs are terrible.
Get that spot and scope out.
Okay.
One thing you've just got to accept when you're in Alaska, you're going to deal with some kind of combination of wind, rain, and bugs. And we definitely were hitting the bugs on this one. Now, these weren't biting black flies or mosquitoes. They were just some kind of little gnat that drove you crazy. They wanted to fly in your ears and up your nose and in your mouth. It's just enough to drive you nuts.
Yeah, he looks like a fairly decent bear. I mean, he's a long ways away, but he's a good looking bear.
Well,
I want to take a look at him.
hour before dark,
Yeah, hour
something
and a
like
half.
that.
I would give it.
I guess we're gonna have to get a serious move on. I'm gonna follow you.
The last time we saw this bear, he was in a berry patch, and on each side of it were really thick alders. So as we're trying to make tracks and get in there tied on him, we don't know if the next step we take, we're gonna run into him at point blank range. And when you're trying to get through that thick stuff in grizzly country and you know you're cutting the distance on a big bear, to call it nerve-wracking is a major understatement. Just as we were coming over the edge of the hill, I see the bear's head pop up, get a quick glimpse of him, and he's gone. I just know we've blown it. We're 6 miles from camp. We probably put on 15 miles during the day, get our opportunity in there at 40 yards, and he's gone.
You think he's a shooter?
Yeah, he's a shooter.
He's off the skyline. I can take him right there.
Closed captioning provided by Bog Pod, the sticks with the red grips. This portion of the zone is brought to you by the Magnum Hunt Club.
After all that work and to blow it, what a heartbreaker. But we're that far from camp, put on that many miles in the day, might as well try to go over the hill and see if we can catch up with him.
probably down in this draw.
Well, maybe we can see over this edge.
There's a bear right there. Right there.
And lo and behold, we looked up at an avalanche chute above us, and there's the bear. He's walking across the rocks. He's only 80 yards away, and he's looking straight down on us. He's walking across those rocks, squaring up on us, looking down, walking a little farther. He definitely knows we're there. He's not scared at all, and I can tell you, having a grizzly looking down on you is very ominous.
You think he's a shooter?
Yeah, he's a pretty good looking bear. He's got some nice,
He's really blonde.
yeah, he's a shooter.
I like that collar on him.
Yeah, he's got a nice collar of blonde around his neck.
All right, if he'll stop up there, I'm gonna crack him. He's off the skyline. I can take him right there. Here we go. Let's get over here and see if we can see him coming down.
I felt like I'd made a real good shot on this bear. I'd hit him in the chest, but after only a couple bounds, we could hear him crashing through those thick alders. And the last place I wanted to be 30 minutes before dark was trying to dig my way through those alders after a wounded grizzly bear.
He's hurting bad.
Back you up on this one.
I don't think he's going anywhere after that one,
got
man.
him.
How about
Guys,
that?
He's down. He ain't going anywhere.
The stars lined up on that one.
Yeah.
And we had that bear at 50 yards coming to us.
Caught our wind.
He caught our wind or ended up on the rocks. Thought I hit him real good. He started rolling.
Yeah, you know, that's surprising you went up on them rocks. I really thought he was going to catch us, draw and run up it.
But man, for him to stop right there in that opening, that was,
Yeah, he's in a nice open spot. You can't beat that.
I think he's done. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You know, walking up on that grizzly bear is a memory I will never forget. That beautiful blonde coat, picking up that big square head and looking at those claws. It was a lifelong dream that had finally come true, and it really is what big game hunting is all about.
Look how blonde he is.
Yeah, he's a good looking bear.
That is gorgeous. Look at that coat. My gosh. Look at that big head. I mean, beautiful, beautiful coat.
Beautiful. Nice blonde.
I'll tell you what,
Nice defining ring around his neck.
this has been a dream hunt. I mean, we put the miles on. It's getting pretty dark. And what we got? 5, 6, 7 miles back to camp?
We got a good 5 or 6 miles, so we better get heading back.
I'd say we get headed back.
Get back.
Yeah. We got some nasty stuff to get through, a river to cross, and
These alders aren't pretty built during the
Yeah.
dark, so.
especially in bear country.
Heck no.
All right, well, thank you, man. Let's get to it.
Well, you got that grizzly bear you've always been wanting. But I think there was a little more to this story from what I remember.
There was a lot more to the story. I thought we were going out for a little short stroll that afternoon. Didn't take my GPS. We ended up staying under some alder bushes in bear country that night. You know, anytime you're in a place like Alaska, you better have your quality gear. that is the situation that you will get in time and time again. And if you're not geared up correctly, you can die out there.
And that's the beauty of these adventure hunts. Just because the animal's down doesn't mean it's over. You've got to get the animal out and get home.
Yeah, and you know that super cub ride out of there, the scenery is just as gorgeous as it was coming in, and what a great way to end a fantastic hunt.
The Zone is brought to you by Firefly, Hunt the Wind, Gobble and Grunt Outfitters, Brownells, OutfittersRating.com, Rax Mineral, and the Magnum Hunt Club. Your adventure is our business.